Welcome to Nasdaq Trade Talks. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq. Joining me to discuss the Clean Edge Green Energy Index is Mark Marex, Product Development Specialist with Nasdaq Index Research. Mark, it's great to have you with us. Welcome back to Trade Talks. And tell us about CELS and what types of stocks are in this index.
Great to be back, Jill, and thanks for having me. So this is a kind of a specialty index that Nasdaq does in partnership with Clean Edge, which really kind of works to help us determine the types of companies that are eligible to be classified as, being active in the green energy space. That includes quite a number of things: advanced materials, energy intelligence, energy storage and conversion, renewable electric generation, and renewable fuels. This index has been around for quite a while now. It's got a great product tracking it that's had a lot of tremendous growth recently. And as you can see in terms of, the top index weights, we've got a nice array of companies here. Tesla is by far the largest, for good reason, right? And also just because it's been just crazy in terms of outperformance this year. It's kind of accumulated an outsized position for the time being, given that this is a modified market cap weighted index. But there's some of the other top companies here. NIO is a Chinese electric vehicle manufacturer and also does a lot of innovative things in terms of autonomous driving software and AI applications to electric vehicle technology. Solar Edge is an Israeli company. They're also very active in smart energy tech. Albemarle is sort of a more traditional U.S. conglomerate in the chemical space, but because of their activity in lithium, which is such a crucial substance for battery production, they've gotten a pretty sizable weight in the index as well. That's what you'll see in this index. It's a good mix of U.S. and global firms that are active in not just things like Tesla, where the first thing you might think of in terms of green energy is stuff like electric vehicles and renewables like solar and wind. But also a lot of the sort of behind the scenes technology that is helping to, really drive innovation in this space.
Yeah, certainly that space and the related components have garnered investor attention. Mark, so how has it performed year to date, and then also relative to other indexes? Year to date performance has been really extraordinary. We talk a lot about the Nasdaq 100 here on Trade Talks. That index is up 33%, just over 33% as of the close yesterday. CELS is almost doubling that. It's up 63%, just over 63% year to date. Very, very easily also outpacing things like the S&P 500 and the Russell 2000, which remains negative year to date. A lot of that has been Tesla. Tesla's, up almost 400% year to date. But when we look at some of the top constituents in the index and we look at their performance, you'll see that it's not just a Tesla story. There are a number of constituents here that are similarly just having a fantastic banner year of performance. And to wrap, what are you seeing with assets under management growth?
Yeah, so this index launched in early 2007, along with the product from First Trust, the ETF that is tracking this. You can see that it was, pretty stable in terms of AUM growth. They had a nice little spike in 2013 into early 2014 when they hit almost 200 million in AUM, and then kind of lost momentum for several years, right? And then just before, the market sell-off, the correction earlier this year, they started to really kind of ramp back up, hit 250 million in AUM, And then in late March, early April, you know, that AUM was sliced almost in half, right? Down to about 135 million. The growth since then, I mean, pretty astounding growth, approximately 3x in terms of AUM just in about 4.5 months. And so now we're above 400 million. You know, a good amount of that is just the gains in the underlying holdings, but inflows have been super solid as well, continuing to drive that product.
All right, Mark, appreciate the insight. Your team always brings the most interesting indexes to the Trade Talks audience. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you. Great to be back.
And thanks for joining me. I'm Jill Malandrino, Global Markets Reporter at Nasdaq.